It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. Another weekend coming up with no football or netball for our crew in the Wimmera, but nevertheless, we've still got plenty to talk about. Micky, how are you?
Good. Happy Friday, Jason.
Yes, another Friday with a difference. Nothing to look forward to over the weekend in terms of sport, but look, I guess some positive comments from the Premier through the week where they're talking about maybe opening things up in regional Victoria or certain parts of regional Victoria, maybe even as early as next week. But we're not entirely sure what that all means at the moment, are we, Micky?
No, unfortunately we're not, Jace, but we're just sitting tight and hopefully the Premier can provide us with some enlightening news early next week. Things are looking a little bit more positive, I suppose, for regional Victoria in comparison to Metro Victoria, just numbers-wise and case-wise. But, he's hoping maybe community sport is potentially, on the horizon. But if not, it would be just nice to have a catch-up, I suppose, as a club or, as a small gathering and have maybe a little small training here or there. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Now, I believe Wimmera Netball and Football have set a deadline for when the season needs to be completed by, and if it can't be completed by this particular date, then they'll cancel the remainder of the season. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the league met last week and sort of outlined a fair few different scenarios in regards to a final series, but they did come up with an end date, and if it's not by 2nd, 3rd of October, the final series and the Wimmera League competition will come to an end and come to a close, and we hopefully will be able to get back on the court and field in 2022 is what the plan is.
Micky, do you know if they discussed or if there's been any discussions about whether or not they would play finals without crowds? Because almost seems a little counterintuitive to do that, but worst case scenario, there might be a situation where, like we've seen in Victoria in the past, where they say, yes, you can play community sport, but you can't have anyone there. Would you do that in a final series, do you think?
Obviously, would be a very disappointing situation because we do play sport and football and netball to have that crowd and that community sort of vibe there. I believe, now don't quote me, I think the league has come up with a few different scenarios in regards to streaming the events, etc., if that were to happen. But he is hoping it doesn't come to that. It would be even nice if we could just have a small amount of numbers at the actual games as we have done in previous rounds. So, I don't think anything's set in stone yet, Jace, but I think they've definitely started the planning process in regards to all different situations that could unfold.
Sure. And I mean, there's so many what-ifs at the moment, but I mean, the cut-off date really to restart is the 25th of September. So if you're going on that date of having things wrapped up by the 3rd of October, so then you get a 2-week final series, 25th and then October the 2nd. But if you get back in action before then, do you think they'd go to a 3-week or maybe even a full final series as you guys are used to in the Wimmera there with a 5-team? I know that there's a few scenarios on the table when it comes to that, but it seems as though they'll go to the 4-team final setup. Is that what you're hearing? Yeah.
I think they've practically locked in the top four will be the final series. The league and club committees have decided on that. So whenever we get back, I think that's sort of what they're aspiring for, and just to get it the ball rolling and sort of get it over and done with, I suppose, if we get that opportunity to get back on the court and the field to sort of, really go gun-ho and get that final series over and done. Yeah,
that's right. The other thing that complicates all of this in Victoria, of course, is school holidays coming up on I think the last day of terms is 17th of September. So whether or not, I mean, if the lockdown's not lifted, you're not going anywhere anyway, but I'm sure after 5 or 6 weeks in lockdown, there'd be plenty of families who'd be pretty keen to hop in the car and head off elsewhere through that school holiday period. So whether or not that hinders a few clubs or not, I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, there's always something, some little tricky situation to throw a curveball. Yeah, school holidays. Obviously, a lot of clubs have players that come out of metropolitan areas. Travel, all those fun things that are just, I suppose, different situations and scenarios that the league and club committees have to take into consideration. And yeah, credit to them. They're all doing a very, very good job. The Wimmera League is working very hard to maintain our final series and uphold that ability for all clubs to get on the field in the netball court.
We'll talk more about your A-grade girls for the Southern Mallee Giants in the coming weeks as we head towards the final series there. But as we wrap up today, I just wanted to talk specifically about the Southern Mallee Giants juniors. So you've got a 13s, 15s and 17s team that hit the court this year. I don't think the 13s and the 15s won a game, but that doesn't matter. You managed to put a team on the park, and that's the most important thing in times like this. It must be tricky times for the club and for the coaches of those two teams as well.
Yeah, our junior coaches have done an absolute tremendous job this season. That was Micky Bellinger, our club president's real focus this year, was just to ensure that our juniors are on the court, learning, developing, doing the thing that they love, and that's playing netball for the Southern Mallee Giants. Our junior coaches, right down from our Net Set Go, Rachel Watson coordinates our Net Set Go girls, up into our under 13s with Courtney Williams, our under 15s with Zoe Weir, and then our under 17s with Trudy Cook and Hayley Hatcher have done an absolute tremendous job leading our junior Giants coming forward. And I would really like to commend those girls. They've had a bit of a tricky year. Like you said, we haven't had very many wins on the board, but to see our junior Giants smiling week in, week out, looking up to our senior girls as well, playing a few mother-daughter, father-daughter matches during the season and just really having a laugh and learning as much as they can. I think that was true credit to those coaches for coming week in, week out and really backing their juniors.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. But we've got to spend a special shout-out to your under-17s girls who, barring for COVID and the season break that we've had to have because of the lockdown, your under 17 girls, 17 and under team would have been playing finals. They made the top 5, but of course with the final series now being restricted to 4 teams, they'll miss out. But they had a winning season, a positive percentage, 6 wins, 5 losses. So that's a group of girls heading in the right direction for sure.
Absolutely. A tremendous group of girls, our under 17s are. Most of them back it up, Jace, and then play a senior game after their under 17s game, believe it or not. They have just come leaps and bounds. Mackenzie Bellinger, Abby White, Tia Credlin, Neha, they've all just gone from, just being run-of-the-mill sort of netballers to really, really developing and taking everything on board that Hayley and Trudy have said this year, and then coming up and training with the seniors and listening to the advice of myself and the other senior coaches. So my hat truly, truly goes off to the under-17 girls. They have really, really developed, and I think from, having a year off in 2020 to now sort of progressing into 2021, I'm really excited to see where their netball goes and their careers in the future. So credit to those girls.
Yeah, well done. We'll talk more about the rest of the senior Southern Mallee Giants teams and your A-grade girls and how you're going about keeping them prepared for the coming final series should we get it underway. But we'll do that next week. For now, we'll leave it there and wish you all the best for another quiet weekend, unfortunately, there across the Wimmera.
Yeah, thanks heaps for that, Jace. I appreciate it. And just a shout out to all the Giants, the volunteers, our club members and committee. Enjoy another week off, but keep the spirits held high and the vibes flowing through the club. And here's hoping we can get on and have a final series and make it one to remember. Go the Giants.